When I was growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s, America was the type of society where you could agree to disagree with somebody. You could have a disagreement on almost anything and then come to agreement to disagree and still be friends at the end of the day. But America now has become the antithesis of an agree to disagree society. We've become, ever since 9/11, you're with me or against me society. What the fuck happened in between? How did we go from a society where it's okay to have different opinions to a society where it's okay to have a different opinion as long as it's in the same lines of the same opinion you're disagreeing with? How did we get to this point? So, normally, parents encourage their children to, have different opinions and to formulate their own ideas and normally tell their children it's okay to be different. That's what normally, smart parents do. But apparently, the dumb parents don't even care about, raising their children, that way. They care to teach their children that this is against you, that is against you, everybody's against you. And that's not a healthy mentality to grow up with. And so I seen this video, a YouTuber cover over a parent basically publicly shaming her child over the fact that he, in elementary school, in a mock election, voted for Trump for the very benign, childish reason he's seen him on television, which is mostly any child's reason for voting for Trump in a mock election. But as benign and childish of a reason that is, that's still no reason to treat your child like a sack of shit. And obviously, not only did she treat her child like a sack of shit, the Dallas police and the CPS were contacted and they're looking into arresting this woman for what she has done. And I applaud the police and law enforcement, and I applaud the CPS for looking into this, for not taking any, chances. And while people are at the original video are laughing and scoffing at this child and saying that this is fake, no, clearly it is not. She's publicly shaming her child, and that is a fucking form of child abuse. If you don't know the history of public shaming children, it's not only happening in our country, it's been happening in several countries over the past decades. Now, publicly shaming children is basically, they do something you don't want them to do, like, a lot of teenage girls want to dress up a little more feminine than what their mothers are telling them to dress up like. And so, keeping this in mind, you have these parents that are telling their daughters to hold up signs, I'm a slut, because they're dressing a little more feminine than their mothers would like them to do. That's publicly shaming children, and that is a form of child abuse. The CPS had made that a form of child abuse in the late 90s because there were so many cases of it, they couldn't ignore the situation any further. So yes, this person did abuse their child. Maybe not physically, but verbally abuse their child. And they're being investigated into. And rightfully so. And for anybody who's watching saying that I'm a secret Trump supporter, that I'm a this or I'm a that, first of all, no, I'm not. If you have been subscribed to my channel for quite a while, you understand that I am not for, some of what Trump supporters are doing. I'm not for, bigotry or anything like that. I don't stand for that shit. But you also know that I don't stand when the left-wing party of the political spectrum does this shit either. I call it out as well. And quite honestly, I think it's disgusting what this woman did to her child. It's not only disgusting, but it just shows how much pathetically dumb America is. It just shows how much of a pussy nation we are. That we don't encourage our children to have different opinions. It just shows much how of a weak nation we are. Let alone from being a stepping on eggshells nation. But we're a weak nation where we, are so afraid of somebody having a different opinion than us. And it's so stupid. We should encourage everybody to have different opinions and different thoughts and different thought processes, because history has shown that groupthink has led to fucking disaster. And I'm talking to you, anti-Trump protesters, I should say rioters. Look at what you're doing to your own cities and towns. Don't blame Russia and don't blame Trump supporters for it, because you have your own selves to blame. But 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 here's the problem. Overall, it's this mentality that if you're not with us, you're against us. That's destroying this country, and we need to get rid of that mentality. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and the link to the video on the update of the mother who publicly belittled her child and publicly abused her child on the internet is going to be in the link description box down below. See ya.